going to the team of the year, we got a couple of honorable mentions. We got our 5 through 1. So, we got some backups in case something happens similar to last year. Honorable mentions. The stand-in team that stood in for a little bit of the team of the year, the Toronto Raptors. I think it was a couple of years ago. We had him in there. Fred VanVleet is gone. Dennis Schroeder is in now.
Yep,
OG
I knew that would
Anunoby.
pique your interest.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder, big Dennis Schroeder guy. My boy Grady Dick.
That as well.
We love Grady, and he's why do you have to laugh, Rev? Oh my gosh. And I did like him in the draft. I really did. I did, I really liked him going into this team. And this
Oh,
team
it's
definitely
funny.
needs some guard help.
I agree with you. I love Grady.
Yeah, it could be interesting to see if they, bench Pirtle and go a small ball 5. Put Gary Trent and shooting guard, and then it's like OG Barnes and Siakam, something like that. But they've underperformed, and there's a high chance they could blow up. So they are not going to be the ones. Also, the return to the Pelicans. I don't know. Zion looking kind of good. Is he actually healthy? I don't know. I can't go down that
I
road
see you're
again.
interested in a lot of your
They're honorable
former
mentions.
former
I like my
lovers.
teams. I like what I like. But Trey Murphy is out, which hurts. It hurts.
Yeah,
Feels like
that's
I'm
true.
out. So,
The big part of the soul.
that's why they didn't make the top 5. So at number 5,
Oh, okay.
we're in the list where we're finally cracking the list. They had a questionable draft, but their players had some excellent FIBA World Cups. We're gonna go Orlando Magic at number
Oh,
5.
okay.
Franz Wagner looked really, really good. And they got Mo Wagner, who also looked really
Mhm.
good for Germany. Paolo Banchero, he had some moments. I think he saved them one game. There's a game
Yeah.
he went off.
He led them in scoring for
Um,
one of them.
yeah, John Isaac is actually healthy for once. Hopefully he stays healthy. But if you have John Isaac out there with Paolo, Franz, you put Jalen Suggs and Markel Fultz or Black or whatever they put up in that guard. But those forwards, Wagner, Boncaro, and Isaac, that's a scary front court. So it's interesting. We got at least you got one scout checking their stream every like week, but yeah, no, I don't. I'm not picking it just because of they haven't changed that much. They haven't. I really didn't like their draft. Anthony Black, and then what's his face? Howard. Where is he even on the depth chart? I can't even see him.
Jet.
That's Is they ready to get rid of your boy? Jet Howard. Oh,
Jet
there he
Howard.
is. There he is. But yeah, I didn't like their draft, so that's why they're at 5. But I'm telling you, overseas basketball is legit.
And the Paolo at the 5. Let's see how much they used Paolo at the 5 last year, because in FIBA, that was
Mm-hmm.
something the US needed. They didn't really have a lot of size there in the front court outside of Walker. Well, they had, I guess, Walker Kessler as well. Was Jaren Jackson on this past team, or am I tweaking?
He was on the USA team, yeah.
He was on the USA team, so they had Jaren
Yeah.
Jackson as well. But they definitely went to the Paolo at the 5 thing. And if Orlando does that with what we saw from Franz, and just in general from what we've seen from those guys' development, it's a really interesting team. I told Sam, so Sam told me he had his nominations, and I told Sam I had a couple of nominations. And I
Oh,
figured
okay.
I figured some of them would overlap, and boom, right off the bat, first one, Orlando Magic
Magic.
on my list as a
Yeah.
team to suggest to you because of the young talent. But I think I agree that maybe this is like a team of the year watch for like maybe a year or two.
If they
Like,
get a big piece, they're missing a piece.
yeah, I agree. This is a
They need a
piece away from
guard
being
bad.
being a team of the year. This is a
Yeah,
Cam Whitmore away.
they need a guard or a ball handler really badly on this team. And Franz Wagner can somewhat fill that role, but they're missing one more piece on this team. I don't think Marco Fultz is really gonna fill that. And we'll see if Black can. I don't know if he can. But I mean they're obviously a talented team. I don't know if Isaac can stay healthy. We'll see that as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously, again, and for new listeners, team of the year, it's for me to pick. There's no team in Kansas City, no team in Kansas, and I don't really want to cheer for OKC all the time, even though they may come up. But so we pick a team of the year, a team that's young and frisky, interesting to watch. There's some growth, potential to make some upsets, maybe make some noise in the playoffs. See Atlanta Hawks for reference. I don't remember what year that was, but we're not picking the dominant teams here. Obviously we know the Bucks, Celtics, Nuggets of the world are obviously going to be top there, but we're also not picking bottom feeders. We're picking teams with some interesting talent. We're going to be fun to watch, and the Magic are at number 5. So
and for Paolo last season, 3% of his minutes at center. Maybe that goes up.
Maybe more. Especially, I don't know. Wendell Carter, I mean, I think he'd be better off the bench, but
I agree. Or, at least using Paolo in the 5 in more lineups, I think is just something that they could
do. Yeah. Number 4, you're going to like this pick a lot.
Uh-oh. I think this one might be right off my list.
Yeah, wow, you really put your own team on your list? Because I picked the Spurs. I mean, you got Wemby. You gotta, I do like Sohan as well. He's right now projected to be the point guard, according to the Spurs.
I like that.
That's interesting. Vassell, he barely played last year. I guess Devontae Graham suspended. I don't know. Do you know anything about that? I don't know. But
I mean, not really, but it's what it is.
Homie,
this team's with the young guys.
We'll see. Sham Penny, he made the team. He's on the roster. Shout out. I think he'll get some interesting minutes. Definitely over Chetty Osman. Sorry, homie. But yeah, you guys have Trey Jones on this team. You get Shed and Penny off the bench. Charles Bassey had some good minutes in preseason. And Branham, I don't know. Now you got Zach Collins there too. Help protect Wemby. Glendon Johnson. I mean, your team's got some pieces. You just needed a cornerstone, but now it's starting to look a little interesting here.
Why can't Sohan be like Ben Simmons if they're playing him at the point guard? I mean, obviously he doesn't have the vision that Simmons has. So, I mean, there's that just like pure point guard element that, where Simmons is, I mean, he's not Magic Johnson, but it's like, okay, Simmons is actually a point guard. But in terms of a big playmaking guy running the offense, I think the Spurs should be higher on your list. Because if you're just if you're looking at the teams in the West that are like, okay, what is going to be our thing this year? Like, what do we, or just kind of like how set are we for what we have going into the season? Like the Spurs are weirdly one of the most set teams. And they have a lot of veteran pieces that could rotate through. And, like you said, Devontae Graham, if he's on the move, Zach Collins as well, the veteran guys. But this team is about the young guys. And you meant, the top, I'm not saying potential nominations, but you got like the Nuggets at the top, the Phoenix Suns, the Lakers. Outside of those 3 teams, just like confidence, we're ready to go. We've got our group of guys. There's like one other team that I really, really like, and maybe they come up. But then I think you have a case that Wemby and the young core, like they know what they have.
Top 5 team in the West.
What are the odds for this team to just skip the play-in game? What are the odds? It's gonna be amazing.
It's so funny to see be a rational fan. Part of the reason obviously was put in that, I can't cheer for the Spurs because you like them, but also I want to see how do they relegate Wemby's minutes? How much are they going to play him? How many games are they going to play him? And how much are they going to care about the regular season? And, obviously when he's in the court, it's going to be crazy, but I highly, highly doubt he's going to play all 82 games. Yeah, I highly doubt they're going to play him all the time. And, knock on wood, but young, small guys like him, they tend to get injured. I mean, so we'll have to see if he misses time. We really obviously never want to see that happen. I love watching Wemby, but, I just got to kind of see it. The rest of the team has some interesting pieces, but they've been there for a little bit. Vassell is probably one of the most interesting things to look out for this year. But we kind of know we kind of know what your team has. And like you mentioned, and we'll see. But I'm mostly interested to see how Pop plays Wemby and how Wemby wants to be played this first year and how serious they're going to take it. Because yeah, I think they could see him in the plan for sure.
And for I don't know, maybe again I just am an irrational fan, but I think this team was better than they showed last year. And I don't know if anybody's just I don't know if everybody's afraid to say that or if nobody's just seeing it. But like even Vassell like showed some stuff when he was on the court, but was clearly like being really they were really reserved with how they used him. You shut him down early in the season and just did all of the injury stuff that you do when you're a bad team and you're tanking. Keldon Johnson, Sohan, like they kind of managed the tanking thing perfectly. And I don't know if
Yeah,
people want to admit that because of, what that says about the league and whatever. But I mean that is what they did. And I think
yeah.
that now that they have Wembenyama in here and a real star guy, I think by the end of the season, Wembenyama is going to be fantastic. 12-1 to make the playoffs.
I can see him
400
do it. I don't know. We'll
plus
see.
plus 440. So 440 to 1 to be the 1 seed.
Oh my gosh!
Western
Please tell
Conference.
me you didn't put money on down on that.
I'm going to, but then people ran in and held me back.
Oh yeah, take it back. Anyway,
Hold me back.
get that Spurs hat off of him. It's
Pumbaa
making him go
came in
crazy.
and Pumbaa came in and pinned me down.
Maybe next year. I think next year they'll probably get someone in there. You
I think
know,
next year they're going to be too hyped. That's why I think this should be the
we'll
year
see.
because I think they're going to overachieve and I think you should jump in
Mhm.
early.
All right, we'll see. I don't know. They're top three. Okay, so if something happens to these next two teams, they're up to play. Or actually top four. They're the fourth team. The third team, another team I know you like, not as much as the Spurs, but you still like, is the OK City Thunder. I
I think Sam
really,
just copied my list.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is why we're hosting a pod together. But I think, Shea, like you mentioned, there's not a lot of hype. People are starting to notice Shea, Holgren, So it's not up there because it's kind of property, but it's still top three because of how good Shea is. I think listening to the Bill Simmons pod, there was a question, would you trade Wemby for which is more important, Wemby or the whole starting lineup of OKC? And I was like, yeah, that's really a question of how valuable Shea is. And he's an all-time first team all NBA guy. Rest of the team is pretty exciting. So, I think there's a lot of stuff that, this team is really exciting for this year. Shea has already shown he can take it to the big guys on his own. And now he has, some more developed talent around him. He has Holgren, who's technically a rookie, but not really. Another year, Giddy, Dort, Jalen Williams is no longer a rookie. So I think it's a frisky team. And they were frisky last year. They kept hanging around. And I think this year they'll take another step.
They go back to the point I was making about the Spurs, like just with like, confidence going into the season.
Mm.
I'll rephrase it and say it a little bit like it's more like lack of question mark teams. Like who just has lack of question marks?
Mm-hmm.
And those top teams, the Nuggets, the Nuggets, the Suns, the Lakers, I think are all pretty set.
Well,
But
sounds a little.
but I mean for the offense though, like the offense is
I
going to
mean,
be so it's just going to be
yeah.
so overpowering that against the rest of the league. Like against the actual like Nuggets and the Lakers themselves, it could be different. But just in terms of in the Western Conference, I think the Suns probably get home court. Like I think that's pretty safe to say.
We'll see. If Katie still stays healthy. I don't know, man.
Yeah, injury is always going to be the
At least
thing,
if
but
Nurkic is injury prone. Well, they'll need him.
Booker, Booker maybe
Yeah,
he's able to.
Booker gets dinged. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if everybody gets hurt, then it's probably not going to be good. If but that's the top three, I think, upside teams in the
Mm.
West. Outside of that, I think lack of question mark team. I think you could say OKC is fourth because Shea is
Yeah.
a first team All NBA guy, legit fourth quarter guy, can go to him at the end of the game guy. Chet looks like he's going to be a legit number 2. Jalen Williams at number 3. Like, you just go down the list. So, I'll be irrational about the Spurs, but maybe back to back irrational. I think the Thunder might get home court. I think they might be a top 4 seed.
Sizzling. I could see it. I could definitely see it. I think, especially if Giddy takes that next step, I think Giddy's going to be pretty important for the team.
Off of FIBA?
Holmgren, yeah, we'll see if Holmgren can stay healthy. I'm excited. I'm excited. The SGA looked great in FIBA too. So
and then you have Memphis. Memphis is the 5 seed, and San Antonio is the 6 seed.
Well, yeah, because Memphis has that suspension to deal with. How is Marcus Smart going to integrate with his team? Are they going to run 3 guards out there? 3 decently sized guards, big guards, but still 3 guards. Yeah.
Once we run through, okay, so that's Memphis. So Memphis, throw Memphis into that group as well and go top 5. Those are the top 5 in the West. Otherwise, you got the Mavs with Luka and Kyrie, the Timberwolves with Karl Towns, Pelicans with Zion, Clippers with Kawhi. San Antonio and Wemby against that group, there's just I don't know. I feel good about the young talent, the surefiredness, the confidence night to night.
How do we get back to the Spurs, man?
I'm trying to talk you into for them. I'm pitching the Spurs as team of the year.
Number 4, bro. They're not moving. All right, number 2. It's not happening, bro. They're good, but I gotta see it a little bit. A lot of these teams that were moving up, we've seen it already in the league, and Wemby obviously,
like with Shea.
Yeah, exactly. Like Shea has it, Magic. We had, a little bit last year. There's a reason they're at 5. But number 2, we seen it last year too, especially when a certain Iowan player was healthy. The Pacers, when Tyrese was playing.
There's no way we're gonna have the same 5 teams.
Bang, bang, man! I'm telling you, Tyrese Haliburton on this team. He went crazy. Team USA. He's a legit guy. Ben we trust. I'm surprised he wasn't on the FIBA team. Bruce Brown got signed by this team, maybe a little too much money, but I'm a Bruce Brown kind of guy. Obi Toppin, maybe he gets salvaged.
And he'll help this team.
Yeah. Jamaz Turner has been one of the better centers available for trade, and their bench is good. I mean, TJ McConnell, Nembhard. I really like Nembhard, and Buddy Hield. Yeah, Buddy Hield leading the bench. The rookie, right? Jerry Walker. That was someone they drafted. And then Jalen Smith from the Suns. And if Jalen Smith is underperforming, they also have Tice. So, he's a good starter level
Daniel?
Daniel Tice. Starter level center, can be, but off the bench even better. Also Isaiah Jackson. So this team has depth. And I really like this team. Tyrese Haliburton, when he was healthy, this team was very competitive. We saw how much he carried Team USA. And they're gonna, Indiana usually seems pretty boring, but this year, if they all stay healthy, I'm really excited to see where this team goes. I mean, Bruce Brown is just such a smart player. He's such a good veteran player.
Yeah, unselfish, and is a wing guy that you're right. Perfect next to Matt Haliburton. You get a couple of unselfish guys like that. Mathurin can take the shots. Hield can spread the floor. The thing with the draft was they went with Jarris Walker, which, especially after they signed Bruce Brown, that kind of makes sense. Big 4, they need somebody in that spot. But the talent, we'll see how that pick turns out. There is some other guys. Yeah. Didn't they give up Koulibaly to get him? Wasn't there some kind of 7-8 swap there?
Yeah.
That could be a move looking back. And I think didn't both of us in the moment watching the draft were like, holy cow, Koulibaly on the Pacers? This is unbelievable. Koulibaly and Haliburton.
It's someone who could have been great, and which, I mean, Haliburton is great, but someone whose ceiling is through the roof.
And just somebody with Haliburton too,
Mhm.
plug this guy in with a real point guard, what could he be? It's an interesting scenario. And if you're a young team, like maybe Walker's got some certainty and you like that, but it seems like even now, like even though he's young, Koulibaly is still able to hang on in a real way. He's not necessarily a developmental guy. Like he can
Yeah.
still be a productive guy. So interesting move, but I agree. I like the Pacers.
Yeah. No, they're the backup team for the team of the year.
I think I
And
do know who your number one can be. That's why I'm surprised. I can't believe we had identical lists.
I mean, I had this team. I've been making it pretty clear that they were going to be the number one team. And
Yeah, the
I gave your
photos and the
team.
texts have been leaked.
Yeah, I mean, I've been giving your team crap for relying on a rookie, but this team has a lot of veteran talent, a lot of players who've been around the league, and we're talking about the Trailblazers with dominating.
Yep.
But no, for
Yep.
real, they do have Aiton. They're, a solid contributor to that Suns finals team. Jeremy Grant, he has shown he can take the ball, put up some stats. Also, I mean, he's shown some off-ball stuff with Denver. He got annoyed at it, but he's still someone who can also, put up stats. Shaden Sharp, big Shaden Sharp pod.
Yeah.
We know the talent is there. Anfrey Simons, I've been ranting and raving about him for weeks. And then Scoot, Scoot is the guy who's going to orchestrate this whole team. And there's so much talent on this team. I mean, you look at that, Anfrey Simons, his talent, Sharp, what we think he can be, what Jeremy Grant has been in the past, and then Aiton, who can play his role. And off the bench, you have Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, that's an embarrassment of riches.
It's
That
nice to
really
have.
is. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon. So he's pushing, having Brogdon in practice. A decent player. He's played some playoff games. Pushing these guys. Making sure they earn their minutes. And I've also been a big fan of Thibault. Hopefully he can regenerate his career here. And Robert Williams the third, Time Lord. Off the bench again, another starter for a finals level team. Now did he get hurt a lot? Yeah, but it was the one who really took the ceiling off the ceiling off for the Celtics. Really made him, into when he was playing, it was really like, oh crap, like really made him into a scary team. And he's coming off the bench for this team. So there's so much talent on this team. Chris Murray, too. Shout out to him, projected to be like his brother. They have I think also that rookie from
Rupert?
France.
Rupert?
So Repair, yeah.
Rayon Rupert?
Mid camera. I think Repair will be going to the G League, but there's just so much talent on this for on the starters and the second team. I mean, they have playoff starters all coming off their bench.
Hmm.
I mean, that's
And Chris
crazy.
Murray, the Iowa guy. So I mean
Yeah,
that
shout
checks a
out.
lot of boxes for team of the year, I think.
Exactly.
And
And
I
then
think with
yeah.
Scoot, now the thing with the now not, to do it to bring it to the Spurs one last time. Like
One
if
last
you
time.
like who do you think has a better chance of making a playoff run or being a feisty play-in team, making a play-in push between the Spurs and the Blazers? Oh,
And
that means he thinks it's the Blazers.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because Wembanyama is Wembanyama. You can
Yeah.
say all you want about collection of talent, but Wemby is Wemby. I think I'd still go with the Trailblazers just because of their collection of talent. There's just so much talent on this team. It's
10
wild.
guys.
I mean, 1 through 10. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how many teams can really compete with the number of games, playoff games, the amount of talent, how much these guys have gotten paid in the past, how much they could be paid. Um, and it's just so many special moments from each of these players that I've seen, firsthand. When you talk about Brogdon and some of those playoff series with the Bucks, with the Celtics, Robert Williams himself, Aiton, he's had some great moments. And You know, and now they're just rotation pieces, and they have the guy in Scoot Henderson who can take on that load. You know, if he's having trouble, if he needs, you know, some off, they still have Anthony Simons, who's had to be the main ball handler. They have Brogdon. Hopefully, we'll see how long it lasts. And then they have the forwards who are comfortable with the ball and want the ball. So, you know, it's definitely an embarrassment of riches for a level of a team that has been borderline playoffs. But I really think this team is going to wake some people up. And, you know, it's already showing good signs for Henderson with him being able to sing. So from one franchise singer to another.
What song was he singing? What was this?
I don't remember, but he was singing. He was singing
acapella karaoke.
It was karaoke, but no words, I think.
In the shower. Where was it?
But yeah, Trailblazers are number one team for Sam
in the year.
For the year. As long as, yeah, even if Scoot gets hurt, honestly, I still would look at him. But the Pacers are my backup team, though. They were close. The Pacers were close, but the depth of this team, and that absolutely no one's talking about him. I mean, Tyrese Haliburton, you know, there's some, you know, Pacers aren't under the radar. Like real basketball fans kind of know, like you look at the record, you put the stuff. But no, I think everyone's kind of written off the Trailblazers. And there's always a team that makes some noise. So I think they'll be the ones.
Who's going to get looped into that third? Because Haliburton and Mathurin are going to be like a pretty dynamic duo this year. I think at least offensively, especially if Mathurin takes a step up scoring. So who's the guy that gets looped into the big three? Is that Buddy Hield? Is that
wait? It's Turner, Haliburton, and
Haliburton, Mathurin, and
Mathurin and Turner. Yeah.
And Koulibaly. Oh no, wait, they don't have Koulibaly. Jalen Smith.
Oh my
Demar?
gosh. No, that's I thought you said big three.
That's true. That's all guards. Can a big three be all guards?
Maybe. What are they doing in Golden State?
Clay, in Golden State, I was gonna say. Paul. Yeah, we'll see if it works.
Those guards. But yeah, that is the team of the year. You heard it here first, folks. And we'll see how the season starts.
And I would like to officially announce. Wait, let me see. Let me lay out the hats real quick. I would like to officially announce that I'm picking the Spurs, baby. Let's go.
There we go. We got our teams. We're locked and loaded.
You need a Blazers hat? You need to start getting hats for your team of the year.
Maybe.
People at the Rem and Sam wardrobe department better get Sam a Blazers hat.